As we mentioned before we took our quick break, we want to talk right now about the Clear the Shelters campaign. Of course, a near and dear cause to us here at WCNC Charlotte, partnering once again with NBC as well as our local shelters and rescues to get as many fur friends adopted as possible. We've been speaking with a lot of our local participating shelters and rescues over the last couple of weeks, and tonight we want to talk with Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control because this is one of our shelters we're seeing with a big adoption day this weekend, and we hope it's a really successful one. And there's so many different ways that you at home can help contribute to some great success. I love this 3-box here. So we can see Melissa Nicely here with Animal Care and Control. We have Danielle Bergman, who's joining us, one of the fosters with Charlotte-Mecklenburg, and your foster, Danielle, is here. Lamb, who is absolutely adorable. Look at this well-behaved boy. He is so sweet. We'll talk about Lamb in just a bit. We'll mention, of course, he is adoptable. So if you are kind of looking for your next forever friend, maybe keep the pen and pad or the notepad on your phone on standby because we're going to have some notes for you if you want to learn a little bit more about Lamb in just a bit. But let's start with Clear the Shelters because, Melissa, you were saying this is hopefully going to be great success, a lot of adoptions. It's Saturday, and it's basically all day long where folks are invited to come on out and find their forever friend.
Yeah, we're 2 days away, so everybody mark your calendars. The event at Animal Care and Control is going to be at the main shelter, which is the Byram Drive location, 8315 Byram Drive, and that's the shelter that is right conveniently located off of 485 and West Boulevard. So come on out, 9 to 5. Not only are you going to be able to meet a zillion billion beautiful and deserving animals, but Vanessa, we have so many things going on in the parking lot for everyone that's visiting as well.
Yeah, I know that you sent me a whole list of vendors, and there's going to be food trucks and drinks, and it sounds like ways to stay cool as well if you want a little icy something that will sustain you. It's
Yes.
a little bit on the warm side right now, but
it is.
Yeah.
I believe Larry Sprinkle, I was here earlier in the day with the Charlotte Today folks, and Larry was looking at the forecast, and I think it's going to not be in the 90s, but the high 80s.
Perfect.
So a little bit of a break maybe, but don't worry. We have, I'm just going to list them real quick. We have Carino Coffee, Sabre Vino Tinto, and Small Cake Still Creek, Jeremiah's Italian Ice, and South Block, which South Block does IKEA. I never say that right.
Acai.
I never say that right. And here I've done it wrong publicly now.
No, you're good.
They do smoothies and juices, and they also, I would imagine, because they always get them for us, they have little bowls for your dogs.
Oh,
They like do little
nice.
treats. So anyway, all of the stuff is going to be great. We have also 12 vendors and partners that are going to be set up, including, of course, WCNC.
Yeah.
So we're so excited to have you guys, Vanessa, there, and I know Larry's going to be there.
Yes.
And then, so that's all really fun and good, but that's just the extras. The biggest thing is fee-waived adoptions from 9 to 5 all day long.
Yeah, that is such a big deal. We know that every little bit helps as far as, new pet parents getting started in their pet journey. So the adoption fees being waived, that's going to be pretty crucial. And we've mentioned this before, but worth talking about again. The dogs, the cats are there. You have other pets as well. Usually we'll see like pigs that end up at the shelter, and you've got pocket pets. So there's a wide variety.
We actually are very full with rabbits right now. We just put a video out yesterday. All of our rabbit cages are full. So if you're listening and you've been thinking about being a rabbit
Parent?
mom or dad, a rabbit parent,
Being a rabbit.
then come on, super cute ones too. Check out our Instagram or Facebook page. We just put out a video yesterday of them.
Okay.
And I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 of them, I think. 6 or 7.
Oh.
So yeah, so really, I don't think that there's anything in the barn.
Okay.
But I have been away for a week, so there could be something, but you just never know.
You
Something
never
overnight
know.
could
There was
come
a pig
in.
at some point. I don't know if he's still there. but there was a
Exactly.
pig.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lamb in the house right now. Danielle, do you want to tell us about your foster? He's so sweet.
Sure. This is my beloved sweet lamb. I have fostered a bunch over the past few months, and this might just be the best one I've had. He's an absolute gem. He's the softest boy. He loves cuddles. He's been great with every dog that he's met, with children, with cats. We actually took took him, a volunteer agreed to let him be cat tested with her cat, which is no small
Wow,
feat, and
yeah.
he did a great job. He's potty trained, crate trained, and really just overall a joy to be with. I think I get, equal. It's a very shared experience for both of us. It's not just me taking care of him, but certainly him bringing a lot of joy and love to my life every day.
So I'm going to update our super too to make sure that we've got this information, because usually through the shelter we know that people can reach out directly to fosters to get information. So I have your email address
Sure,
right now
absolutely.
on the screen if that's cool. If anybody wants to email and learn a little bit more about Lamb or set up, I know you can do meet and greets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shout out to your handler who is sneaky under the desk with some treats for Mr. Lammy. I mean, Danielle, can you talk a bit more about as well being a foster? Because another big element to Clear the Shelters is telling folks if by chance they don't have a place in their life at this point for an adoption, how else you can support the shelter. And that's like fostering. It could be volunteering, donating, advocating. And you are obviously familiar with the foster side of things.
Absolutely. For me, it's been completely life-changing. I'm new to town, and I come and go a lot due to work and other things I do. Lamb is
Playtime.
getting used to his feet here. And so over the past few months, I think I've successfully fostered and adopted out 7 or 8 dogs.
That's incredible.
To me,
Wow.
as someone, I moved here, I didn't know anybody in town, and so going to the shelter is also a way for me to meet lovely people, right? I didn't know anybody beforehand. I don't have Instagram either, and so it's a way for me to actually go out into the wild, as one would say. I take the dogs. Last week I had a dog. I took him to 7 places in one day. He had a blast, so obviously it was also his choice, but we just went all over the place asking places to post him, getting to talk to people, so it's really a way also for me to not feel as alone in a new city. So again,
Yeah.
it's really, we give to each other. When you're a volunteer at the shelter, which I step from just a foster to also being a volunteer.
Yeah.
You go to the shelter, you can walk the dogs, you get to really know a lot more, and then all of the volunteers are really invested in what they're doing, and we have a very active Facebook group where people are always stepping up for each other. So I have Lamb now, and then I have another one that I'm watching for a different foster while they went on vacation.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because we've talked before about how the volunteer and foster community with Charlotte-Mecklenburg is very robust and also very creative in that, I started as a volunteer and then I became a foster, and I started small, and in some cases it's easier to do a bite-sized foster if you've never fostered before. And I say bite-sized in that maybe I take the dog for a week, maybe I have a friend take the dog for 1 week and we switch off, or if someone has to go out of town, there's always someone who's willing to step up. So the commitment level doesn't have to be as high as some people think.
Absolutely, and that's what I tell people. Or also, for example, and shout out, my very first foster that I had a few months ago, I was just walking around the neighborhood, and this lovely woman who I didn't know yet kept seeing me walk with this dog, and I said, hey, I'm going out of town, and if this dog doesn't get adopted, I got to bring her back to the shelter. And this woman ended up adopting her. It's the woman that runs the culture shop over in Plaza Midwood.
Oh, yeah.
And now I get to see that foster every single day, so shout out to Catherine. It's incredible what you can do just from walking a dog around the block. You
Yeah.
know? So I feel really supported also by the staff and by the community, by all the fosters and volunteers. I feel so lucky.
Well, and Melissa, you've been with Charlotte-Mecklenburg for a long time. You've seen this foster program grow and the volunteer program grow over the years. I mean, it's spectacular.
It's amazing. I'm actually sitting over here getting chill bumps because I just love hearing this, because it means so much that not only are the animals that are in our care so lucky to have the volunteers and the fosters and everyone in the community supporting them, but it sounds like the volunteers and the fosters are very lucky too.
Absolutely.
Because they have each other and have a great network and all the reasons, for more people to come on and join on. And it is 100% for sure the most robust volunteer and foster program. I've been there for almost 20 years.
Wow.
And the network has just grown so much.
Yeah.
And more things are achieved because of that. And it's just really, really great as someone who's been there for a long time to
Wow.
see kind of where we are right now.
Yeah, I mean, the different ways I've seen folks firsthand step up, I've watched this transpire, people who will do obviously the fostering and the staycation, but also transporting dogs
Yeah.
to rescues on other sides of the state. They'll commit to drive a dog out of state, to New York and up north sometimes, where they might have a little bit more capacity in those rescues. I mean, people really, really step up in different ways.
Shout out to Jess Russo, lets people come over with her pool, I mean, and lets the dogs like run around.
That's
It's really
sweet.
incredible.
Yeah.
It really is. I have to say, too, that it's funny because Tina, who is one of our
Yeah.
volunteers and fosters, I reached out to her to say, hey, do you have a foster that you want to bring on? And she literally is on vacation in another country, but she helped me from another country get in touch with
I
Danielle.
know.
So it truly does make a difference. And the biggest thing is it makes a difference for the animals, and that's what we're all in it for.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and, of course, talk about the importance of Clear the Shelters, just because I think it is important to talk about the element of like why we usually see Clear the Shelters this time of year versus other times of year, and maybe how this is super timely too with what we're seeing over at Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care
Yeah,
and
so I
Control
brought
right
a
now.
couple of numbers down. If anybody, I'm looking down because I'm looking at some numbers here. But I did think that this would make an impact. So right now, the number of dogs in the shelter is 150 dogs and 14 puppies. The number of cats in the shelter is 44, and then there's 107 kittens. So all of you guys that are listening and watching right now who are wanting kittens, definitely come out on Saturday. We also have 32 cats that are in pet stores locally. They help us out with that. 160 dogs in foster. 53 dogs are on staycations right now, and 224 cats are in foster. So the grand total is 784 animals that are in our care right now.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot.
Wow.
And we usually do see that number
Wow.
go up during the summertime.
It is.
And that's where we are right now. I mean, we're seeing it with the
Yeah.
capacity.
Absolutely. And it is not uncommon for shelters to be more full during the summer. So NBC's done a great thing by timing it in August because it's a big month for us.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a lot of kittens, weaned and ready to go and adopted. And one more thing I'll mention is with the fee waived, which is huge. And I like how you said it, Vanessa. I always say that the fee waived is important. It's not because people can't afford the fee, but what it does with that money is it frees up that money and it lets you go ahead and take a trip to one of the pet supermarket stores and get all your supplies as a first-time pet owner that you're going to need.
Yeah.
But I will say I wanted to remind everybody that when you adopt from us, the animals are going to get all their vaccinations that they need up to that point. They're going to be dewormed. They're going to be, the dogs are going to be heartworm tested. You're going to have the spay neuter, and you're going to have the microchip. So everything that you really need for that first year is going to be taken care of, unless it's a puppy or kitten and you need to get their booster shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's no like short feat, I would say, just to waive that fee, just by what you said of how much you actually get with this adopted dog or cat or whatnot, and that's going to go a long way for folks. I do want to mention too, because I know that this is a month-long campaign. Even after the adoption day, there are going to be other ways for folks to help out as the month of August continues. So I wouldn't say like adoption day's done, let's just say Saturday, and then people just turn their brains off and we're not thinking about what to do going forward. There are so many different ways to continue on afterwards, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Donations go a long way, and I know we're very thankful that they run it for the whole month because there's different options to be able to get in and make double your impact with matching donations.
Yeah.
And just, if you're interested in that, maybe you have, like me, and your home is full and you can't really take on another animal, but you can make a financial contribution. That money really goes a long way to support our foster program that we've been talking about. It helps with our enrichment and all kinds of things that we need for the animals. So you can always go on and make a donation, and if you make it, you can make either two ways. You can make it through following our QR codes that we have on our social media right now, which there's a possibility of a match with NBC and their partners, or you can go on our donation page and you can make a donation anytime all year long.
That's awesome. Speaking of your website, well, by the way, folks can go to our website, and we've got a link to all the Clear the Shelters participating local shelters and rescues, and I would urge folks to go and take a peek there and follow those links to your website, because if folks are going to be coming out on Saturday, it might be helpful maybe to have a dog or cat or a pet in mind, and your website has all the adoptable pets on there with their photos and bios. Lamb is on there. I saw him. And so, yeah, that'll be probably a good thing for folks to do. You saw a quick slate. We just showed a graphic. We do have coverage, by the way, for folks all day long, so we'll have that for you on air as well, streaming here on WCNC Charlotte. Anything that we didn't touch on?
Wow, we touched on
I know.
It's going to be, we are so excited. Like all of the people that are going to be coming and our vendors and the staff and everyone, like we said, it couldn't be coming at a better time. And we're just super pumped for the day and think it's going to be so fun, and really are hoping that the community will come out. And if you're a community member and you have 5 dogs already and you don't need to just come out and see us.
Yeah.
Because you can visit all the vendors, you can try the food trucks out and just show your support.
Yeah.
And maybe make a donation or bring a bag of treats by, We
Yeah.
just want the community to feel invited and come see us.
Yeah, definitely extending that invitation as well. I was actually, that the Clear the Shelters campaign was how I got started in volunteering.
wow.
Yes, Melissa can attest to this, because several years ago when I first started here in Charlotte with the news, I found out, every year we do this wonderful campaign, and they go, Vanessa, why don't you go out to the shelter and interview the shelter and find out what the need is looking like? And so I interviewed Melissa about this, and that's when I found out how great the need was,
Wow.
how many pets needed homes, how much help shelters and rescues need, support from the community. And I signed up, it was shortly after, to be a volunteer, and it just all kind of went from there. So really special and near and dear to me. So I agree with Melissa's invitation. Go on out, you never know what it will start for you. Lammy, does Lammy want to return for one final cameo? If he wants to go over to his little, is that a Yoshi or a turtle? There he is. So once again, folks, Lamb is adoptable, and you can find more information about him on the Charlotte-Mecklenburg ACC website. And yeah, he's a sweetheart. We can attest to this. He's got energy, but he's a 1-year-old. You might expect that from a 1-year-old, but look how gentle he is with the taking of the treats. Good job, Lammy. All right, folks. We will keep you updated, of course, as Clear the Shelters continues. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Sorry, I was, giving Lamb some
No, we love it. We love
He's
it.
a rock star
He
now,
deserves
so,
the
he gets
treats.
all the treats.
He was such a good boy. So thank you, Lammy.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more Live Impact News.